Hey everybody, this is Chance again from Elite Permanent Makeup. I'm one of our master artists and I'm here to give you a couple of tips when it comes to microblading. Now, we're going to talk today about how we're supposed to hold our microblade correctly. Now, some of the most common mistakes that rookies make when they're holding their microblade is they hold it like a pencil. This is the #1 no-no. You always want to make sure that you're utilizing your pinky finger as well as your index finger and your thumb on the opposite hand to create a full 3-way stretch. Now, when you're doing that, you're always gonna place a lot of your body weight right here on your pinky. This is gonna anchor your body weight, so then when you're working, you only have to worry about what's happening right here with holding the actual blade itself. So basically, your hand is doing 2 separate things at the same time, anchoring the weight and making sure you're getting a nice clean stroke with your pointer finger and your thumb. Now, when we place our hand, I always place the pinky first. Now, when you're doing this with the practice skin, it's going to feel a little bit weird, but it's a good way to go ahead and get yourself out of bad habits. So when you're working on somebody's face, you're going to immediately use your pinky to anchor your weight on the person's face, yeah? So now, with that out of the way, we're going to talk about holding the microblade at a 90-degree angle. This is a really, really imperative part of microblading, is holding your blade at a nice, clean 90-degree angle. Now, I always talk about, I use analogies when I'm teaching my students, and it's just a really easy way for them to get a visual representation of what I'm trying to explain to them. Now, imagine that you're cutting a cake, right? So when you cut a cake, you always cut it at a 90-degree angle because you want a nice clean line down the center. This is the same thing that I utilize when I'm doing my microblading, and this is why. Imagine if you cut a cake at a 65-degree angle. Imagine what that cut is going to look like as compared to a 90-degree angle. Now, imagine that you cut somebody's skin at a 65 or a 45-degree angle. So instead of it being a nice crispy stroke, it's going to be muddled because what you're actually doing is cutting at a 65-degree angle, which is going to create a flap in the skin. This is really, 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 really bad. So we always want to make sure that we're not creating those flaps by keeping it at a 90-degree angle. Okay, you guys, so now that you can clearly see what we're doing here, I want you guys to remember what I said about anchoring your body weight on the pinky, yeah? So we're gonna dip our microblade. We're gonna take our body weight and we're gonna put it on this pinky, so it's gonna end up here. So normally when people hold their microblade, they immediately wanna hold it like they're using a pencil. This is not cool, yeah? We always wanna anchor our body weight right here on the pinky, and we're gonna make sure that our blade is at a 90-degree angle, not 65, not 45, 90. You always want to make sure that your blade is really flat against the surface of the skin before you drag it. This is going to create nice, crispy strokes. Now, I'm going to show you what it looks like when you take the blade and you put it at a 45 or a 65-degree angle. Now, when I wipe this, you're going to clearly see the difference. Look how beautiful and crispy these lines are. They're nice and soft. Now, if you look at this one, it's a little bit more expanded, and that's because the cavity that I've created underneath the skin is not at a 90-degree angle. So it creates more of a fatter stroke that's not as clean. When this heals, it's going to expand and it's not going to look as beautiful and crispy as we want. So 90 degrees is where it's at, you guys. Always make sure 90-degree angle all the way through the brow. We want crispy strokes, not muddled strokes.